I went to university entirely for free. I managed to fund all of my studies by using some unusual perks. I'm going to be showing you all the numbers, breaking down exactly how much I paid for my degree and how I managed to fund it. First things first, I'd like to deeply thank the fact that I'm in-state. I'm a Quebec resident, meaning that I pay Quebec resident fees, which is still thousands of dollars, but it doesn't compare to what out-of-province and international students pay. Nah, hell no. Okay, let me show you exactly how much I paid. As you can see, during the school year, I paid between $1,000 to $3,000. Usually the fall term is more expensive than the winter one because I have to pay for insurance, dental, health, and other miscellaneous fees. Now you'll notice in my first few summers, I had to pay a couple $100s. That's because I was in the co-op program. When I transferred out of engineering into the arts faculty, yes, my school offers software engineering in the arts faculty. As a matter of fact, my school offers software engineering in arts, in science, and in engineering. I really don't know why, but as you can see, the past summer I paid 58 cents, saving me a couple $100. I paid exactly $21,336.29. Now I know I have one more semester left, but I'm not taking that many classes, so it's going to cost me maybe $1,000 to $2,000. And as you'll see in the breakdown, I've got that covered. Now comes the juicy part. How did I fund that 21K? The first source of money are tuition reimbursements. Now I was in the military reserves, which meant that I had access to a program that reimbursed 50% of my yearly tuition up to $2,000 a year. This was incredibly clutch, and I managed to get $4,000 back. Now the second source of tuition reimbursement was from the provincial government. They ran something called the Prospective Scholarship Program, which reimburses students who meet certain requirements. For example, they look at what program you're studying, how many courses you're taking, etc. Now, thanks to this Prospective Scholarship, I managed to get $7,500 to use to pay for my tuition. I could have gotten a lot more considering I applied only in 3 semesters, 3 out of like 8. But when I became an artist, I was no longer eligible, unfortunately. Now, the next source I want to talk about are scholarships and student aid. So I got $6,000 deposited into my bank account from my school to use for my exchange. Now, those $6,000 went straight into paying off my degree. I got many scholarships my second year because I was a full-on academic weapon. I was locked in and just getting A's. And I planned that out because I knew I needed to take at least 27 credits to be considered for scholarships, which I did. And I wanted to prove to myself that year that I could get scholarships by doing well in school. So with the scholarships, I received another $3,000. Pretty good. Okay, now the last source of income that helped fund my degree was being a teaching assistant. I really like doing teaching assistant work because it's convenient, it's on campus, so I don't have to commute as much. It forces me to revisit concepts that complement my studies. It's fun to teach students who go through the same thing you went through. You know, I would relate when students pulled up to office hours trying to debug their assignment. You know, I've been there. And also, being a TA pays very well. So I TA'd on 2 separate occasions. Both times were $33 an hour. The $300 was a reward I got for doing well in a class. At our school, a team mentor, you would call it, is sort of like an underpaid TA. So yeah, that's where the $300 comes from. Now, thanks to the on-campus work, I got over $6,000 I could use to fund my degree. And that brings us to the present, where I have a surplus of $1,400. I know not everyone has access to these perks, like you literally need to be a Canadian citizen or have your PR to join the military, and you need to be a Quebec resident to get the Prospective Scholarship. I hope that still gave you some insight into what's possible. I didn't know about most of these sources of money before I started university, so a lot of these came progressively through research and through luck. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Leave a like for the algorithm, I would really appreciate it. Drop a comment if you have any questions or feedback. I'm online 24/7 anyway, so I'm definitely going to respond to your comments. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Hey, subscribe to the channel, you know it's free. Right here.